Okay, let's get started on today's 2 p.m. PC Twitch stream. I'm your host, Strange Bear Jim, and today we got quite a bit lined up. So today we're going to be, for Pega, we're going to be doing some discussing of the module for microjourneys. So look forward to that. Um, we're going to be going into just chatting afterwards and, discussing, uh, you know, I'll just be going through handling, uh, editing the videos to YouTube and any other general discussions anybody might want to have. Um, and then we're going to be moving on to Warframe. Um, I have been liking the fact that I've been seeing a little bit more Warframe love coming out, so that's awesome. Um, gotta kind of give some praise to some of the larger content creators that are out there that are kind of showing more of it. So that's awesome. Um, you know, uh, you know, in the back of my mind, I would love to say, hey, I had I helped out with that. I give, shed some light on the subject and stuff like that. Maybe I gave them, hey, go try out this game or something. Probably not happened. um, but it's okay. Um, okay, so like I said, we're going to be getting into the Pega micro journeys. I'm coming in a little late, so we're probably not going to be covering too much today. We'll see what we can cover. Like I'll try to see if I can get about 2 topics in today. Um, so let me go ahead and switch on over. Yep, it's not finding the right page. There we go. Okay, so um, we finished the last module, so look forward to that on YouTube. I'll be posting that for tomorrow. Um, and now we're going to be going on to defining a customer micro journey. Just a heads up here. I wanted to kind of show this off. We just finished off the low code define module. We're moving on to define a customer micro journey here. So, Pega Express delivery approach. Pega platform applications drive and facilitate customer interactions. These interactions are referred to as customer journeys, which start when clients first hear about a product offering and continue to the point where they are no longer a customer. One would think that, you'd always want to consider them a customer. You want to be able to uh, uh, get the mindset in them that you want them coming back, to be a repeat customer. But I mean, they have they're stating, um, a point on, when they enter the store and leave the store kind of thing. Um, you could have other things beyond that, like maybe you want to get them into like a customer appreciation program or something along those lines, so that you can try to say, hey, here's some incentive to come right on back, but whatever. Pega Express is an agile approach that uses design thinking practices to capture the customer journey and quickly deliver a minimum level product (MLP) release. This gets used quite a bit, so bear that in mind. Um, so, quickly deliver a minimum lovable product. So, um, one of the ideas for applications, sometimes uh, that the common phrase, less is more. Well, sometimes that applies to even applications. So, um, you know, if you're flooding a customer with everything all at once, like you're getting in their face with all these ads or something like that, then they're gonna say, no, man, I'm out. This is too much. I'm going out of here. Um, like me personally, um, I can't go onto anything like a candle store, for example, because it's they have the open air candles and the fragrance of every single last one inside that enclosed space of the store. It takes me out. I just can't handle that much. Now, if it's just like maybe a single cattle, no problem, kind of thing. I can handle that. But if it's all of it is just too much for me to, for myself to handle. I just can't handle. If you're lighting up like 10, 20 scented candles, I'm gonna be like, oh, hold on, I'm out. I can't take this. This is too much. This is giving me a headache. Um, same kind of thing. Uh, when it comes to, I mean, take for example Google. On Google, okay. Um, during the search engine wars way back in the day, um, you had all these search engines that were just trying to find some way of keeping people in on their platform. They were trying to say like, hey, while you're trying to search for this, here's some other articles or whatnot. Here's some news articles. Here's your email if they provided email. Here's some you recently searched for this, so we'll provide some different uh, topics concerning that. Here's some shopping for you, that kind of thing. They load up their page with a lot of different things for um, whoever uses that particular search engine. Okay. Um, you look at you look at all the like different search engines that were back in the day. Okay, and some of them have still stood the test of time. They're still trying to you know stay alive for the most part. But here's the thing. The one thing that um, the search engine that um, topped them all out was Google. You know, Google just took off because one, it was really smart in its algorithm. They were able to find like all the web pages that people were looking for and efficiently, quickly, with hardly any mistakes whatsoever. And it was typically blowing away, the competition. And two, their website was clean. There wasn't anything there. It was just Google search engine. That's it. That's all they had on it. Um, so you know that whole idea of less is more. Google did it. So um, minimum livable product. I mean, Google proved it. So sometimes less is more. So But keep this in mind, okay? MLP gets referred to multiple times, and it will, um, it will be most likely on the certification, probably, maybe. So, with Pega Express, you break the customer journey into smaller pieces called microjourneys, which drive the organization to achieve a specific goal. An MLP release is a value-added solution that addresses a business need or a pain point and is a quick deliverable. The MLP release delivers a lovable solution that end users eagerly adopt. Hopefully hopefully that explains everything that they kind of wanted to address concerning what a minimum level product is. If you have any kind of questions or anything along those lines, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer it myself, but like I said, like I mentioned before, I'm not sponsored by Pega. I'm not a Pega trainer or anything along those lines. I'm just trying to get my own certification. So, um, if there is a Pega trainer that eventually does find these videos and they want to clarify some things or if they want to address some things, you know, I welcome them. If you're like watching this on YouTube, um, I try to like make some points, you know, and I hope they kind of take it to heart so that they can maybe address those, on their web pages. It'd be nice, but we'll move on. Pega Express focuses on delivering one goal at a time rather than developing the entire customer journey at the start. To define an MLP, minimum level product, I'm going to repeat this over and over and over again, just so I personally have it locked in my brain. So if you find it annoying, I apologize, but it's meant to kind of repetition allows for me to lock something in. So um, to define a minimum level product release, you focus on three core elements or pillars of a great application: microjourneys, personas and channels, and data and interfaces. Now, one of the things that throws me off about this is the fact that um, they state that the customer journey is a microjourney. With Pega Express, you break the customer journey into smaller pieces called microjourneys. So, it feels as though, this entire process here, would be like a microjourney. But in but at the same time, they they're referring to like different um the microjourney is at the very top of the screen, and the personas and datas is like the contributing um, data that comes with it. So it's not to say that this itself is a all a microjourney. It's just, hey, we have a microjourney and there's some personas and data that comes with it. So um, okay, a microjourney is a small part of the overall customer journey and focuses on accomplishing a specific goal. For example, a customer wants to change their address. This scenario is a microjourney that starts with the customer's request and results in an outcome where the customer's address is updated in the company's records, or one would hope that it would be updated. Um, they have to, it would be in the company's best interest to make sure that, it's a valid address. you know, um, so because if you decide, hey, I'm gonna send this package to 123 Walla Walla Drive or something like that, then you're gonna be like, is that an actual address? Or something like that. It's like, yeah, we better verify that in some way if they can. Um, you know, um, have a connection to like the post office, to verify that, that address is, in the post office records, for example. Um, but to learn more about microjourneys, see the Pega Academy topic, microjourney defined. Why don't they define it here? Why don't they just define it here? Keep it keep it in the module here. This is all about, you know, defining a customer microjourney. Then define it. Why are you sending me off to another web page here, guys? You know, it's like, what? Why? You have a mission here for Pega Express delivery, discovery phase, and your MLP and microjourney defined. It's like you're supposed to be defining this already in, and where I was. Then why not do that there as well? There's a lot of information here. Um, let's come back to that later. I'll put a pin in it for next time. But yeah, it's like, hey, this is supposed to be about microjourneys. Why aren't you showing about microjourneys? Whatever. We're moving on. Personas and channels. Personas determine who interacts with the application. Personas align the application user's specific needs with the desired business outcomes. Channels determine how a persona interacts with the application. For example, a persona is a customer or a company employee, and a channel is a web portal or chatbot. An application can have multiple personas and multiple channels. So hopefully that's clear enough for you. Like, they mention, persona is a customer. You know, now they're not like specific, like, hey, um, we have a persona John Doe. No, we're not specifically talking about a specific customer. We're talking about, the um, we're talking about like the label customer, okay? Because customer will be any customer that comes in, So like, if any customer wants to change their address, then they modify their application to handle that. So, um, if they had their specific application designed just to handle John Doe persona, then it's not going to work for Jane Doe. You get what I'm saying? So that's what customer is kind of all about. Um, and channel, as they mentioned, is like the web portal or chatbot or whatever, what have you. Um, so um, so like for example, the customer wants to change their address. They want to do it through um, the company's you know web portal. They go there, they enter in their user data and stuff like that. They log in, and then they go to their profile and go, okay, I need to change the address, blah blah blah, done, send it in, save it, what have you, and it gets saved in their database, right? So um, that's what channels are all about. Now, the channel might be different, you know, between the customer and the company employee. Company employee might be seeing something else there. Okay, they might be like, on their computer trying to verify that, this is indeed, you know, like they might be a customer service rep. They're on the phone with a customer talking about like maybe a past product or something like that. They may need their own channel to kind of see all the customer information and what they might have purchased recently or something along those lines. Okay, you don't necessarily need to show that to the customer, or like like the company, my employee might be seeing a lot of information about the previous customer. You might not necessarily need to show that to the customer themselves. So check your knowledge with the following interaction. Okay, so in the address change microjourney, a customer service agent walks the customer through the process of changing their address. The customer service agent and the customer access separate web portals. Drag the following items to appropriate drop zone. Okay, so they want, you have the personas and you have the channels. So customer service agent would be persona, customer would be persona. You have the agent web portal and you have the customer web portal. There you go. A little weird that this one went pink all of a sudden, but whatever. um, but yeah, there we go. Um, Now again, if let's see, if I change this around, let's see if no, they don't actually state, um, they don't actually state why. Whatever. Be kind of nice if they could, you know, add some more. As I mentioned before, the um, when they add um, like an explanation for the wrong answer, I tend to like that because it tries to reinforce why they're getting it wrong, you know, why someone would get it wrong. Now, I mean, um, one would think that, you know, um, they provided enough here to kind of answer that already. Um, but maybe, add something in there, like, you know, like redescribe what personas are all about, redescribe what channels are all about, that kind of thing. Yeah, as the error, you know, um, like channels are not meant to be the customer, for example, or something like that. I don't know. Something for them to think about, I would imagine. So, okay, data and interfaces. Um, and a lot of speaking is making me thirsty. I gotta make sure that I stay hydrated here. Hold on a second. Let me get my drink ready here so that I can. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. Data is the information that a microjourney interacts with to accomplish the customer's goal. I mean, they might not need all that data to accomplish a customer's goal, but sure, it still works. Just um, like there might be some additional data in there that the customer doesn't need anymore or something like that. Like maybe you have past past orders that the customer did that doesn't really apply to what they're about to do. Some information might be helpful, like maybe their credit card that was saved or something like that. You know, um, but customer might not really care. Like, hey, I ordered some toilet paper last time, but I'm just ordering paper towels today. Why would I care about you know toilet paper last time? You get what I'm saying? Certain data might not be relevant. Um, an interface defines where the data comes from and where it is persisted. So obviously, the interface can show that past information, or it might not show that past information. You know, it all depends on how you want, um, what your application needs to do. And that should be, um, if you're building an application from scratch, you're gonna want to know, you know, what do you want to show. So an application can interact with multiple types of data, and the data can employ multiple interfaces. Um, and that, okay, so um, keep this in mind because, um, this is something that um, might get thrown at you in a question, you know, because an application, you know, it says here, application can interact with multiple types of data. Okay, not just a single type of data, not, um, not two or three, but multiple. Same with the data can employ multiple interfaces. Not a single interface, not one or two interfaces, but multiple. Just there is no limit to how much interfaces could be used. So just kind of keep that in mind. I believe I've saw like a question like that before. I could be wrong, but I think I've seen something like that before. In the address change example, the customer's address is data, and the system in which the information resides is the interface. So, this is a good example, you know, of what is data and what is the interface. So, in the minimal level, in the minimal level lovable product release, this information might reside in Pega platform as the system of record. There's that system of record again. However, in the subsequent release, the interface might change to another system where the customer data is persisted. Using Pega Express, you can capture data objects with their appropriate interfaces and align them to the appropriate minimum level product release. You configure microjourneys in the case designer of App Studio. In the following image, click at the plus icons to learn more about the case designer's three-pillar approach. So, case lifecycle. The case lifecycle represents a business model of the microjourney. You can define the lifecycle as smaller modules that match the elements of your business process. Um, so here's what always kind of threw me off about microjourneys and the case life cycles. Um, based off of, you know, what I see, okay, case life cycles and microjourneys are, in a sense, the same. I haven't seen any real difference between the two. You know, microjourney is just a, I guess, a concise word for case life cycle. I don't know if there's really any nuance to either one of them, to be honest. Um, because, you know, microjourney is meant to, you know, show the customer's journey from start to finish, right? Well, same as the case life cycle. So that's why it throws me off. It's like, why have, um, you know, why use microjourney? You know, why not just say case life cycle? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. Number of syllables or whatnot, but still, um, feels feels odd. To have like two keywords that essentially mean the same thing. So, I mean, like I said, if there's some nuance there, like if there's something like that's there that is very, like maybe there's um, something about microjourney that kind of sets it slightly apart from case life cycle, then let me know. But to my knowledge, they're, you know, from what I can see, they look very much the same. There's really no difference between the two. So, personas and channels. To clearly visualize the participants of your microjourney, associate personas with the case types in your application. By adding personas to a microjourney, you communicate which users are involved in each phase of your business process and which channels they can access. Your case lifecycle displays the personas that you can use when you plan your application development. See how they go back and forth between microjourney, case lifecycle, microjourney, case lifecycle. It's like, be consistent here. You know, that's why it throws me off here. You know, because I keep on looking at it going, are they are they talking about something else here? You know, or maybe they need to kind of address why microjourneys and case life cycles are different, you know, in some way. You know, maybe it gets addressed here in the microjourneys defined. And once again, why isn't it part of the system architect portion? All right, data interface. Provide the transparency of data that a microjourney requires by associating data objects with case types. When you define which data objects you need to process your business case, you improve your application's overall planning and development. Your case lifecycle displays draft data objects that you can use when you plan development of your application. So, you know, how are you going to be showing your information and the like. So, you know, identify customer, reserve the vehicle, and fulfillment. All right, check your knowledge with the following interaction. So consider a postal address verification microjourney. In this microjourney, customers enter their mailing address in the web portal, and Pega Platform verifies whether the mailing address is valid by using the Postal Service database. Drag the following items to the appropriate drop zone. All right, so first we have the persona, okay, and that is the customer. Mailing address is not a persona. Postal service is not a persona. Customer web portal is not a persona. So, you know, um, now channel, that's where the customer can go to modify their postal address, right? So, I mean, mailing address doesn't work. They're trying to modify their mailing address. Why would that be a channel? Doesn't work. Now, you could you could try to make an argument that postal service, could be a channel. Like you're going to the postal service website. That could be the channel, right? Um, oh, but wait, hold on. We have interface here though. Hmm. All right. Well, data is the mailing address because that's what the customer is trying to modify. So that's that's that. Okay. Um, and channel typically refers to, like the web portals or what the personas interact with. So that's why customer web portal typically should go to the channel. So postal service with its interface. One would think, right? It's straight to answer. We're good. Now, again, you know, are will they show um, you know reasoning why these don't work? Nope. Oh well. I wanted to check. I wanted to check if they give any like reasoning or anything along those lines. Like I said, it'd be nice if they did, but once again, we have two different defining the customer macro journey topics. Um, so we move on. All right, case lifecycle. A business view of work. Business applications help automate work that is necessary to achieve specific outcomes. Traditional business applications are based on individual transactions and are built on standalone applications for different departmental functions. Siloed applications make it difficult for various business departments to work together and effectively achieve business outcomes. I mean, depends on what's necessary though, because some departments may only need, might not necessarily need to, um, some of the department's activities, you know, might not necessarily need to be known by other departments. So, um, I don't know. Not to say that they're not wrong in that, but I mean there might be certain instances where it's like, like, um, you know, um, what's it like a good example? Um, does the CSR need to know about um, taxes for a particular state? or something like that. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. You know, um, as a potential example. You know, um, like the accounting department might be handling all the taxes and billing and so on and so forth. But I mean, is the CSR going to need to know every single last detail or tax law that's going on for that particular transaction? Maybe. I don't know. So like I said, they're not necessarily wrong, but at the same time, there might be you know um, certain applications within the business that you know might be very focused. Might be very department focused. You know, might be quite helpful for the department to handle, but no one else really needs to know about it. You know, um, like like a delivery service kind of thing. Like like um, the delivery department might have like a listing of all their trucks or something like that, and who's driving said trucks around, right? CSR is not going to care about you know how many trucks is available and who's driving them. You get what I'm saying? Now they might want to know the arrival times, sure, but they're not going to care about how many trucks are available or something along those lines. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, Pega thinks applications should function the same way that users think about and describe their work. For example, consider an online order process. The customer submits the order, the company processes and then delivers the order. A Pega platform application that models the online order process follows the same sequence. Submit order, process order, deliver order. Case types and cases. A case type is an abstract model of a business transaction. Case types model repeatable business transactions. A case is a specific transaction instance. To model the online order transaction in Pega platform, you define an online order case type that advances from submission to processing and then delivery. As shown in the following image, each time a user submits an online order, the Pega platform creates an order case and assigns the case a number. So, so in a sense, you know, all this is the case type, the whole process of submission, processing, and delivery. And, you know, 67 and 68 is the specific case. So that's what that's all about. So, okay. You define the case lifecycle for a case type to help you visualize the work that must be completed as part of the desired business transaction. The case lifecycle represents the business model of the microjourney. Are they not the same? That's that's what's that's why I'm not sure where the subtleties are. The case lifecycle models the path your case follows through resolution. The major building blocks of the case lifecycle are stages, processes, and steps. The following image depicts the case lifecycle for the online order case type. Alright, I need to use the restroom here real quick, so I shall be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so um, we're at 3 o'clock. I should be going on to the handling video edits, but I do want to kind of finish off the rest of this. So um, stage. When you design a case life cycle, you begin by organizing work into stages. Stages represent the case transfer from one caseworker to another or a significant change in the case status. For example, in an online order, you expect three different groups to participate: customers placing orders, warehouse employees processing orders, and shipping service employees delivering orders. Therefore, you should create three stages in the online order: case type, submission, processing, and delivery. Um, that's just an example. You know, it all depends on your um, on your particular application. You might want more stages than this. So just bear that in mind. You don't have to have, you can have more than just submission, process, and delivery. You can have more stages along the process. So, or more stages in the overall case life cycle, I should state. So, process. Processes contain a series of tasks or steps that users complete as they work on the case. Each stage can contain one or more processes. For example, place order, process order, and ship items are processes. So that's what these are all about. Okay. And once again, you can have multiple different processes under a particular stage. You know, you can have them in parallel. You can have them being handled one after another. Um, it all depends on what are your steps that you want to, take when handling like the processing or the submission or something along those lines. You have to kind of figure out, what needs to be done there. Step. A step is either a user action or automated action within the process performed by the application. Steps performed by the system are referred to as automation steps. For example, enter customer details is a step in the place order process that requires users to enter information. So, enter customer details, that's something that the customer does. Um, but maybe they want to say, hey, I want to um, send a receipt. That could be automated. So, that kind of thing. So it could be like put under processing or something like that. Send customer receipt. That could be automated and sent off to the customer. That kind of thing. All right. Naming conventions. Consider the following naming conventions when you create stages, processes, and steps in a case lifecycle. Name stages by using a noun phrase, or gerund, which acts as a noun. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. To describe the section context. As much as possible, try to use no more than two words. Use names that are meaningful and relevant to business users. In the previous example, the company processes the order in the second stage of the order case lifecycle, so you can name the stage processing. For stages that do not resolve the case, test your stage naming choice by checking if it sounds correct in the following test sentences. This case is in stage name. When does this case move to stage name? How many cases are in stage name? Read the sentence aloud with your proposed stage name. If the stage name does not correctly fit in these sentences, consider revising. Name processes and steps by using the verb plus noun naming convention. In the order case example, in the processing stage, you name the process order. You name the steps in the process, check inventory, and pack items. Check your knowledge in the following interaction. All right. So now we're going into um, choose the correct statement. So an abstract model of a business transaction is a case type, while a case represents work that delivers a meaningful outcome. That looks correct to me, but we'll move on to the second here and check this one out. A case type is a case instance which represents work that delivers a meaningful outcome. No, not correct. So processes are the first level organizing your work in a case. You then organize your work by using stages. That's incorrect. Stages are the first level organizing your work in a case. That's correct. Processes contain a series of stages. Incorrect. Processes contain a series of steps or tasks. That's correct. Um, a step is an action that can be performed by users only. A step is an action or task performed by a system or users. A step is an action that can be performed by the system only. Okay, so it's the second one here. In that, um, it could be automated or it can be done by users. You know, it could be done by the system or it can be done by the customers, that kind of thing. So there you go. And that's it for this. We are going to go ahead and move on to the next topic next time. So that would be, let me head on back. Okay, so we finished off the Pega Express delivery approach and the case lifecycle. So we're going to be moving on to the case lifecycle design tomorrow. So, um, so come on back. I'm doing this every day, from 2 to 3 p.m. PST. So, come and check it out live if you're watching this on YouTube if you want. Um, leave a like, leave a comment, share. Um, use it for your own studying purposes if you want. I'll try to keep the titles of the videos in relation to what we're studying, so that you should be able to refer back to it. Um, Later on. If you have any like answers to my questions, or like you have some concern, I provided concerns over the um, microjourney versus case type. If you have an idea as to what the difference is between those two, why, you know, is there a reason behind that? I would love to know. To me, it sounds like it's the same exact thing. There's really no difference between the two. Um, both are both have basically the same meaning, that they are showing the process from start to finish. You know, so um, yeah, that's my thought line on that. Um, Let me know, either in the Twitch chat, live, or, in my YouTube videos. I welcome it. Um, so, but we're gonna continue this until I get, I get to a point where I can take this certification without, um, and hopefully pass it with, it'd be nice to pass it with flying colors, but it's a tough one. can be a tough certification. So I think I've had, um, with the team that I was on, there was quite a number of people that like barely passed the certification. Like they got the minimum necessary to pass the certification. Um, you know, and then not, I haven't heard of anybody getting like 100% on the certification exam. So, so in some ways, that's a good thing. You have a test that really pushes how much you know. You know, you don't want it to be easy. You want to make sure that you want your developers to know everything there is to know about it. But at the same time, there's a lot of information that they're throwing at you here as well. So, and like I said, um, some of the questions that are thrown at me is um, can it feels like it has like a double meaning. Like, okay, here's the thing. Let me go back to that one. Let me go back to this one here. They have channel and interface, data and interface. Um, let's see. Um, I don't see much in terms of what exactly is an interface. Hold on here. Okay. The interface defines where the data comes from and where it is persisted. This needs to be like and I feel like this needs to be reinforced, more because you don't really see that. Like, they talk about a lot of the data here, but they didn't really talk too much about like the interface here. For example, they didn't really show um like a good example. Like um so yeah, I don't know. You know, I was a little worried at the very beginning with, Postal Service and the customer web portal, but you know, um the mailing address is the data contained within the Postal Service. So you have the customer and the channel. So yeah. All right. Um, but that um, gotta remember, the differences between the two. You know, kind of get that locked in your brain. So you know, if you get if you get hit with that question on the certification, you're gonna need to know, what is the difference between these two. You know, so and sometimes, hey, just speaking it out loud, just saying, interface is you know, uh, its location, you know, uh, location of where the data is, you know. So, you know, okay, but that's it. We're gonna go ahead and close on down here. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video, or stop the recording. So those of you that are watching on YouTube, look forward to the next video, or come on by to Twitch and see it live, or join me for any of the other um, everything else that I do. know we're going to be heading on to um, uh, uploading some more videos and editing, well, not so much editing, but just um, uh, publishing videos. And then today we're going to be moving on to playing some Warframe afterwards. Uh, but um, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, for those of you that are watching me on Twitch, thank you for joining me on that. Let me go ahead and stop the recording.